one of India's best kept secrets, she is a woman of great substance, determination and drive. She is also married into one of India's premier industrialist families, the Modis. She is Nidhi Modi at the helm of one of India's top-notch renewable energy companies, RAL, RAL and Mettwa. So आइए चलिए, let's catch up with her. मैं हूँ नीवा जैन. Welcome to Zee Business and welcome to the big idea. Nidhi, great to have you on The Big Idea.
Thank you, Neva.
Thank you so much. Firstly, because you're a woman, and secondly, it is super cool क्योंकि हमने आपकी mother-in-law को भी interview किया था.
Oh, nice.
बहुत साल पहले. So it's just wonderful to have a mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, super successful duo on The Big Idea.
Thank you.
Thank you. तो आपसे पूछना था, Nidhi, you're so young and at the helm of a very, very respected and sought after renewable energy company. आपने कैसे शुरू किया in RAL?
So RAL is a family-owned business which is already into portable energy for 4 decades. Okay. We co-own Nippo batteries. So the idea came from there because we were already in touch with the grassroots level, and we saw that there were 300 million people which were not connected to the electricity grid and were living in darkness. So that's from there the social idea came, that if we get into solar off-grid products, that would help empower millions of people, and that's how we started Mettwa Solar.
Yes, so Mettwa is where you're actually very, very involved.
Yes.
But that we'll discuss a bit later. RAL mein, where all are the benefits seen for people?
So RAL has 3 main divisions. One where we co-own Nippo batteries, which is the second largest portable energy company in India. Second is baby care products, where we are tied up with the world's largest brands such as Pigeon, Love and Care, and we distribute their brands in India.
So A to Z.
Yeah, and we've launched a brand with Amazon called Tiffy and Toffee, which is an exclusive partnership for baby care brands in India. And then is our solar vertical,
which is where you're very involved with.
Very involved in.
Okay, and in the solar vertical, kya?
So solar, we do off-grid solutions, starting from lanterns to home lighting systems, and now we're expanding into the rooftop inverters, because India, to meet its electricity demands, needs solar rooftop to give them at least 100 gigawatts of electricity to meet India's demand of 1,000 gigawatts by 2040.
Is it possible?
India's demand of 1,000 gigawatts can only happen with solar, because 500 will come from non-renewable, and 500 is required from renewable, and from renewable, hydro can only give 100 gigawatt. So another 400 has to come from solar, which is PV projects and solar off-grid. So unless we don't, as a society, make every home solar rooftop, we won't be able to meet our electricity demands.
Yeah, and it's growing, obviously.
It's, as of right now, it's 150 gigawatt. By 2040, our demand will be 1,000, which will be, India will need more electricity than Japan, Middle East and Africa put together.
These are the numbers with research, backed with research.
Backed with research.
And why is that? Because of increase in population?
Because our population is growing, our industrialization is growing, our consumption is growing, and our per capita consumption of electricity is one of the lowest in the world. So to develop as a nation, you need more electricity, you need more jobs, the rural people are also getting electrified. So earlier people just wanted a basic lantern to just meet their energy needs. Now they're coming to us that we want our mobile phones charged. Then now they want, they want to power their TV with solar, they want to power their mixies with solar. So the solar revolution is picking up people as they get educated, as the mobile revolution, data revolution, people want more and more energy.
Okay, when you talk about the villages, I presume you're saying in Mettwa you are impacting all the villages, right? Okay, and how, that is your baby?
Yes.
आपने involve काफी किया, तो कैसे शुरू हुआ था Mettwa?
So Mettwa started with just basic portable lanterns, where we realized that India, second largest deaths in rural India were happening because of kerosene lanterns, where the consumer was paying 5 times the price versus an urban customer for kerosene, because they were buying it in black. They were spending 3 to 4 hours per day to stand in line and buy it, and it was deaths because a kerosene lantern would fall down and give the huts would burn. And the environment was getting impacted with pollution, causing disorders
correct.
and
Various
multiple
diseases,
health diseases, and the government was spending 35,000 crore on foreign exchange, just importing kerosene to give to the rural poor. So this was affecting the environment, the foreign exchange of the country, and the rural people. So we found a big need that needed to be met, which we did through Mettwa Solar, and now we've already impacted, out of 300 million, 10 million people have already been impacted through Mettwa Solar.
10 million people have been impacted already, and in the space of 5 years, I
Yes.
guess, right? That is phenomenal. Now tell us, in the case of RAL, I'll go back and forth, you have said that you want to bridge the gap, you know, the gap opportunity that is there. How are you doing that?
So we're bridging the gap by first offering solutions at all levels.
Okay.
So from the most unelectrified village, where they've never had even electricity the grid coming there, to coming to semi-electrified, to electrified, because
that's interesting.
even where electricity is coming, they're getting power outages of 18 to 20 hours a day. So they need, in fact, somebody who's tasted power is more addicted to power. So
fantastic.
so
Wow,
they need
that's
better
amazing.
solutions. So we have solutions at all price levels, depending on the amount of energy needs, and going up to the inverter solutions, where you can come and power your home, you can power your office.
Okay, I'm going to backtrack. That's very interesting. When you talk about a village where you say it has zero power, name some villages, like give the example. For people living in urban cities, it's difficult to comprehend.
India has over 600,000 villages. Over 100,000 villages are not even connected to the grid. So and even the ones that are connected, the number of hours that they get power in a day
is maybe 3-4 from what you're saying.
Even lesser. They don't get it for days to an end. So the government quantifies it when there's a pole coming, but the pole is going to how many homes, and how much electricity is going through that pole, and to how many hours is not the true metrics that is being measured.
It's scary. This is almost crucial. It's mandatory.
In today's day and age, not having access to electricity is just not living in civilization.
Exactly, it's almost inhumane. Well, Nidhi, for one so young, you are super clued in on your profession and super clued in on Mettwa. So Nidhi, then you spoke, the next step was that you have villages which have been totally off the grid. Then you have those villages which are minorly, partly benefiting, and then going up the ladder. So how does it work then with Mettwa?
So depending on a village that's completely off grid, then depending on the consumer's needs, then we design products that meant for their needs, where it could be just a basic lighting solution that would empower them with electricity from maybe 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at night.
Okay, so you tailor make those villages to the requirements that they require in terms
We have products that are tailor made for consumer needs, and depending on their purchasing power, depending on their need for electricity, then we give them those kind of solutions.
तो मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दे रही हूँ. मैं छोटा सा विलेज में ठहर रही हूँ और मुझे चाहिए इलेक्ट्रिसिटी 5-6 घंटे के लिए. How do I come to you and what do you offer me?
So we have a pan-India distribution where we're already covering 500,000 outlets. Plus we work with a lot of microfinance institutions and NGOs and CSR foundations. So there's a lot, thanks to the Prime Minister, the awareness of solar is very deep in the country. So they can go to any of our partners or our retail outlets and pick up a solar solution and take it as per their needs and their ability to pay. Because you have to understand that the poorest person who has the maximum need also has less money to pay.
The least amount of money to pay for it. Okay. And what are the varied benefits in terms of Mettwa of the solar products you're supplying to all over?
So our products range from just vanilla lighting, like basic lighting.
And वो क्या होता है exactly?
So they're half watt solar lanterns, which are basically 5 times brighter than a kerosene lantern. Going up to lanterns that provide mobile charging, because now with the digital revolution, everybody has access to a mobile phone, but they don't have access of electricity to charge the phone.
Unbelievable.
So from that, then we have products which have radios. Now we are getting into inverters.
And then televisions, I guess.
So the inverters will power your televisions, your radios, your fans, and give you uninterrupted electricity depending on the way you want it to be designed for your need and your ability to pay.
Okay, I've understood. Now, do you have concessions if it's like the poorest of the poor? You know, because you have said that this is your mission, this is your social mission. So how do the poorest of the poor benefit?
So the poorest of the poor benefit because we've kept our margins lesser. In an average business where you would work on 40 to 50% gross margin, here we work on lesser so that we can give the consumer the best price. So that's our part of the social contribution. Also, our products are very robustly designed, keeping Indian climate, Indian dust, pollution, rains in mind. So all our R&D team is based in India. They hail from the most rural parts of India. So they understand the consumer needs. But they've been trained in the best engineering colleges of the country. So they have the best combination to technically solve their problems, understanding the consumer's needs as a user themselves. So all our products work towards solving their needs in the most cheapest manner. Plus we give 2-year warranties for everything that we sell through. So consumer doesn't need to feel cheated that somebody's come and sold me a product and run away.
And then run away, exactly. If it
so for the next 2 years they come to us and they can get the product service for free.
That is phenomenal. So what you're saying is, जैसे आपने ये engineers को लिया है from small villages, they understand the psyche, the exact ethos that exists in villages, whereas people living in A+ metro cities would not understand.
Absolutely. Or international companies that come into India, their engineers won't understand our needs and our climates and how an Indian person thinks, how an Indian rural person thinks, what are their needs, how will they use a product.
Correct. That's most important. Now, Mettwa is also expanding in terms of going international. हमारे साथ share कर लीजिए what your
So our first aim was in the first 5 years is to establish our base in here, which is our hometown, our country. Now that we've gotten a very large base here, now we're going all over the world because there are 1.2 billion people globally who don't have access to electricity. So we plan to enter all countries of Africa in the next 6 to 9 months. And then we plan to get into Latin America, other South Asian countries, which have the similar needs and requirements as India does.
Okay. And जैसे आप अफ्रीका में जाओगे, कैसे जा रहे हो अफ्रीका में?
So we are going through partners. So we have a team that's going and establishing a base there. We're opening an office over there, and then they will appoint partners over there who will take who have a very deep distribution network.
So
we'll try and tap into that.
So you're tying up with locals over there who understand their country and the dynamics involved.
Correct.
And then Africa के बाद आप कहाँ जाना चाहते हैं?
So the biggest markets where this is required would be Africa, Latin America, and other South Asian countries such as Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. So this is our area of focus.
But it's phenomenal. So what would you say, 5 साल में इतने जल्दी से you have been able to expand and grow?
This is a need, Niva. This is a need that needs to be met. People are living in darkness, and we're trying to alleviate the darkness because now technology is available. Solar prices have come down, plastic prices have come down, solar cell efficiency has improved. So now those solutions are real, they're cost effective, and they work. So this is something that the masses need, and that why is the mobile revolution there, the telecom revolution? It's a need. So the solar is a need.
It's a need,
and the government cannot meet electricity demands just on non-renewable. It needs renewable energy to meet the demand, and the PV projects and the annuity projects will solve the problem to a part extent, but they need off-grid and hybrid solutions to meet the entire need of energy.
The broader spectrum that's there, yes. Social aspect involved with Mettwa and RAL.
So the social aspect is that anytime there's a natural calamity, whether it was a Tamil Nadu floods or whether it is a Nepal earthquake, solar comes into play, because the first thing that happens when there is a calamity is that the grids collapse, there's no access to electricity, and people need light. They need to charge their mobile phone, they need lighting. So we work very closely with a lot of NGOs, CSR foundations, the biggest names, and giving the products literally at cost price or very subsidized rates to immediately meet the needs
to benefit
for disaster management.
For disaster management. Basically disaster management. आपके revenue stream कैसे है in Mettwa and RAL?
So our revenue for solar comes from retail, and we work very closely with microfinance institutions which give loans to the rural women, and so we work very closely with them because as I said, the rural-most person doesn't have money to pay for it. So they finance the products for these consumers, and they pay us upfront, and then they keep taking installments from these consumers. So whether it's retail, we work with the oil companies, these oil marketing companies through their distribution network, with the NGO CSR foundations, and now exports. So
well, you're busy. You're obviously very busy, and I must say that for someone so young, you have married into one of India's oldest Marwadi families, yet you've been working involved with your own side of the family business. What's it been like? How did it,
So very supportive. I'm blessed to have great parents, great in-laws, very supportive husband that they let me have a very demanding career. And
And in a male, I mean, I hate to say this, I shudder, but in a male-dominated space, what's it been like for you?
So this renewable energy space is male-dominated, but I see India's transformed. Now you see women everywhere. Look at yourself, such a successful journalist. So now there are women everywhere, so that barrier of women in business has broken.
Wow. It feels amazing.
Yes, it does.
Okay, give some advice. For, congratulations, you're going to have another baby soon.
Thank you.
Working hard, trying to grow your business, and once again, in a male-dominated space, what advice can you give young women out there who also have dreams and visions?
So be very focused,
successful.
be very focused, committed, and hard work. And there's, it sounds cliche, but there isn't anything else to success except focus.
Really? Focus and hard work.
Absolutely.
Where do you see Mettwa and RAL in 10 years?
So our aim is to make Mettwa the largest solar off-grid company globally. Not only off-grid, we also intend to be in hybrid, because as you get in the rooftop space, you have to have hybrid solutions.
Correct.
So we want to be the best low-cost, high-quality service provider, not only in India but also internationally. So we do see ourselves hopefully going into public listing at any point of time. We have a lot of technical collaborations that we're in touch with. We're in the process of acquiring an inverter company, a solar inverter company.
Correct.
So that's...
Do you work closely with your father, I must ask, or?
Yeah, he's a very big support and advisor, and he's basically funded this. So
wow. But he lets you handle it on your own.
He gives a lot of space.
And your other sister's also involved with work.
So she runs the education piece, which we had started with the Princeton Review. So we run India's largest study abroad company, Manya Education Pvt Ltd. So she runs the entire business, but it's all we run together under the same corporate office.
It's under the same it's a family-driven enterprise. Correct. With your father and
Correct.
3 sisters.
Correct.
Nidhi, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Very, very inspiring, and it's been wonderful to have a young woman such as yourself out there creating ripples and waves.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best of luck in all your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Says Nidhi, my journey has been to work with a sense of purpose, socially impact as many people as possible, and empower the lives of millions. We hope you've enjoyed this enriching and inspiring episode on The Big Idea. Catch you again next week. Main hu Niva Jain. God bless.